Hi. Wow. What an adventure. Um, Thank you for bearing with me. It's 1:40 Central Standard Time. My target time was 11:30 Central Standard Time, but my webcam thing won't work. I got a glare in my eye. I've tried everything to stop that and my glasses, but oh well. I'm going for it, and we're just going to deal with it. Um, Let me get my phone going too, so then I can do it on Facebook and be better than this. I'll tell you, if I had some little magic footballs, I'd be taking one right now. Actually, I would have taken it about an hour ago when I started really messing with this. But anyway, today we're going to talk about tattoo balms, salves, even butters. Um, and the reason why is I met a couple at the last Third Monday Trades Days with S&M Tattoos, and it's actually their initials, and they're very nice people. But we were going over the Stag Your Shag line, and they just brought it up to see if I could maybe make something, because a lot of these artists like to use something before, during, and after. And a lot of times they're even using, what is it, Sanoderm, tattoo aftercare bandages. Um, a lot of, I got talked to one guy yesterday. I think he wears it for like 5 days, and then he uses this goo. And I looked up the ingredients, and they goo. And I like what I produced. So, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Um, First thing is, I chose, for my balms, I chose to go completely nut-free. And the reason why is there's people with Vaseline allergies, petroleum byproducts, latex, all kinds of stuff. So this is an alternative. It's just trial one, basically. I did three. One is completely unscented. Another one has 4 oils in it. And then another one has 5 oils in it. I think that's what I did. I have, and like I said, I've been going crazy with these formulas in my head. Okay, one has 5 and then one has 6, I think. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to type in here the biggest formula that was in my head, and you're going to die when you see what it's for. Okay. That has been in my head for days. And it is actually for beeswax. It's actually kind of a rough one because the beeswax compound molecular formula changes with each region, depending on the flora that they're eating from, the pollutants, how the beeswax is actually harvested and taken care of, and it is so complex. It's very, very interesting, and that's probably why I spent so much time on this. And these chemical compound formulas, these molecular formulas were just going off in my head. I'll share some more as we go along. Okay, so I wanted to talk about why I chose beeswax. Now, beeswax, okay, it's all natural. It's chemically free. And it's really, really, really good for your skin. It contains vitamin A and provides long-term moisturizing, and it actually locks in the moisture in your skin. And it has an anti-allergenic property, so it's good for sensitive skin. And it also has an anti-inflammatory property, which helps heal irritated skin. And that's probably why when I did the Stag Your Shag beard balm and I slapped it on that big grill owie that I had on my arm, and it like healed immediately. That's probably why. But number one, you have to have a quality beeswax. I am learning all about beeswax. I'm glad I had an organic, not triple processed beeswax. So I do have a good beeswax. However, I really like to source it locally, so I know that the person doing it is doing it right, and then my people are getting the best product possible. Now that I've studied all of this beeswax, it does have anti-germicidal properties, and that's what really helps heal the minor cuts and wounds that can happen to your skin. And it protects your skin from environmental irritants, even the weather. So that's ingredient number one. Very, very important. I wanted to show you this too. This is the unscented. You can see that. It's unscented. Okay. There's like over 300 substances found in beeswax, chemical compounds. And I don't even know if I can put that on there I did a whole little sheet so I could put these things on here and share this information with you. But we'll see. We'll see if I can. We'll see. I'm going to try to just copy and paste all of that. See what it does. Oh, okay. I'm over 200 characters. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was like a waste of an hour, but at least I have a good guideline here. I have an outline. Email me and I'll send it to you. saltmixologyrocks@gmail.com. Holy moly. Man. I'm sorry. But if you only knew what this head has been going through and trying to get this thing to work has been a nightmare. But it's the kind of stuff that only happens to me because I've got different formulas in my head. So we went over the beeswax. It's really, really important to have a good quality beeswax, and you don't want something that's been overly refined because you're removing all of the properties. If you can find a really good organic beeswax that has not been refined 3 zillion times to where it's pure white, and you're thinking, is this really beeswax? Because I think it's yellow, but that's processed as little as possible because it actually stays active. It has a biochemical reaction in there to where the beeswax properties actually stay active even after partial processing. So I think that is the coolest thing ever. And we've got to keep planting flora to keep these bees going. I do have a butterfly garden in the backyard that Cowboy hasn't eaten. I was gone to South Texas, and this is what Cowboy did. Except this was actually, look at the little chew, because my other dogs would never do this. There was like thousands of strands everywhere, and we had a great, great dog sitter. She was the best. If you are in my area, ask me who she is, and I will tell you she's awesome. We're just north of Dallas. She's like a dog whisperer. Anyway, okay, so beeswax important. Number 2, of course, CBD, full spectrum hemp oil. I am sold on this on skin and healing. It is some of the best stuff that you can use for your skin. And I even found some, let me show you all of this stuff. Okay. Stuff that I printed, beeswax, all kinds of stuff. But let's see. We have research. That's one. We have more research. That's two. We have, geez Louise, research. I love this book. It's my natural remedy. And then we have even more research. And that's not even what's printed out on the table, where I was trying to make notes. So I know my head is cray-cray, but oh well. Okay, so you guys know I really, really, really like hemp. And I found some online that actually has some in it. And it goes for 20 bucks. 20 bucks. And it's only 1 ounce. And what I showed you, this is 1 ounce. And this is something that I would like to be able to provide a tattoo artist, and they can brand it themselves. We can go over scent profiles and see if they actually work well for the skin. One of the things that you're going to find out, which is really rare for me, is I did not use lavender. And the reason why is when you duck and go and Google how to fade a tattoo, lavender essential oil is on there. Why risk it? Literally, why? It's in a lot of stuff, and I'm sure, hey, nobody's had any problems with it, but I like to get everything right. So that's why I did not use lavender. I wanted to. I especially want to for the girls, for the ladies, for the women. Even though, I mean, most girls, okay, being youth pastors, retired, they all went and got pierced. And then all the young gentlemen at 18 got tattoos. We were fortunate enough to go, well, my husband went with our older son to Texarkana when he was 17, and got to have that memory with him because we knew that they're going to go off and they're going to get something icky. And my husband was there with them. We thought it was going to be like this small, it's like this big, beautiful cross. However, I was comfortable with this on my little 17-year-old's body, but it ended up being like this. And it kind of went out over his sleeve. And the principal, oh my gosh, he was so cool about it. I wish I could say his name, but I won't because he's in this school district. He wasn't in another town where we lived. He was in that school district as well. But he literally loves kids. Well, he left. And then we got another guy. And I don't mind saying his name, but I won't. He told my son to wear 3/4 sleeves. 3/4 sleeves to cover that up. And I'm just like, no. We already had it approved. He's not going to wear 3/4 sleeves. Sorry. Deal with it. He's a senior. He's only here till 10 o'clock every day. Because he was going to college. He was doing 12 credits. I was mad. Anyway, we worked that out. Okay, so sorry, going off the rabbit trail on that. I started looking at all this beeswax stuff, and I did not use a synergy blend, and this whole thing has got my mind where it should not be. Like I said, if you know what a football is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Except the tattoo boy I was just talking about, he would know because all I do is cry. But I felt like crying. So I have talked about the CBD full spectrum hemp before, but now I'm going to talk to you about it in reference to tattoos. So this is another thing that has been in my head. Hold on just one moment. I'm going to have to ask my sister how she does all this stuff in her classroom, because she has to be really tech savvy. All teachers do now. That's the basic formula for CBD. Now, we know that CBD, full spectrum hemp, is a wonderful and powerful anti-inflammatory. It's an antioxidant. It's an analgesic, and an antispasmodic. That's cool. You know what I mean? It's anti-spasmodic. So like when your muscles start to spasm, and I'll also go into one essential oil that I have that also helps with that. But I'm just going over what's in the unscented one. Okay. So it's an anti-spasmodic, and it is used to treat a lot of conditions. Okay. The one thing that I really liked about this, and I didn't find any contrary evidence to make this false. However, if you know something, let me know. But it protects the tattoo, the ink, the art, your story, your history, your beauty from UV rays. And it can also bring out the brilliance of older tattoos, the colors, which is something that I thought was really, really interesting because you see a lot of people that have really beautiful art on their body, but it's faded, because we fade with time, unfortunately. But it has the ability to bring those colors back because we know that it's just not when you get a tattoo, it's just not on your epidermis. There's 3 layers. Okay. So you can bring color back. It aids in new cell regeneration. So it helps with skin healing. Loaded with vitamins A, D, and E. And I was like, D, can it really be received transdermally? And all of the research that I did, yes, it can. And it is really good. It contributes to the skin repair and improves skin conditions. And it can be absorbed through the epidermis. Vitamins A and E, they both hydrate the skin. They help with the renewal and the healing of the skin, as well as prevents irritants that can lead to itchy, dry skin. And that is horrible when your tattoo itches. It's not good because you don't want to ruin that art. It's also an analgesic because, it is CBD full spectrum hemp oil. So you put it on your skin, we know, since I've been doing bath salts, that it does absorb through your skin. So it aids in pain. It's rich in everything. It's the freaking whole plant. Okay, and it has like over 80 compounds in it, and probably more. But it is the whole plant. It is everything good in a drop. And this stuff here, okay. I calculated it to where I did 40 milliliters of the CBD full spectrum, and I made three out of this first batch. Okay, so that's a lot. That's like 13.3. Is it 13? Where did I put that? It was like something 0.33333. It's somewhere in here, but you just divide the 40 by 3. So anyway, so there's a lot in there. Plus the terpenes. We already went into a terpenes lesson. Terpenes are so important. That's where it really gets it going. Okay. So gone over that. I know that I'll remember this in just a moment when I did that calculation. Well, let me just do it right now. Golly, Julie. I'm not dumb. I feel dumb, but I'm not dumb. Yeah, it's 13. So it's like 13.33 milliliters. That's a lot. That's good. That's what I want on my arm. Really, a lot of it. Okay. One thing I did was, one of the oils that I did use was apricot kernel seed oil. And here it is. And I infused green tea in it, slowly and gently with the sun. Didn't boil it. I just slowly and gently infused the wonderful green tea into this apricot kernel seed oil that I love. Awesome. I also did, this is chamomile and organic grape seed extract. And the same process, slowly and gently infused it in the chamomile in there. Okay, and we're going to get to that. So the green tea, though, was amazing. In fact, oh gosh, let me put this out there because this is the one that was driving me crazy the last night I danced. The green tea one. Oh man, gosh, the one last night was even worse. Anyway, that is the molecular formula, or I don't even know how to say it, but it's epicallocatagen gallate, and the abbreviation is EGCG. And what it is, it's a green tea polyphenol, and it's a compound that's found in green tea. And there was, in fact, I have, it's Dr. Stephen Hugh, probably because it's HSU, so it's probably you. And he's with the Medical College of Georgia. And he discovered this. And, if you don't know what a polyphenol is, they are abundant micronutrients that are in our diets. And they help in the prevention of degenerative diseases, such as cancer, all kinds of things. But the health effects of polyphenols depend on the amount consumed and on their bioavailability and how we receive them and the molecular structure of them, how pure they are, and how they are applied. So not all of them can be applied the same. But this doctor found out, though, that it is just absorbed through the first layer of the skin, the epidermis. It's not all three layers. However, it helps reactivate dead skin cells. And the absorption, he said in this study, was found to be profound, and the benefits were significant. The cells in the epidermis are in a constant state of renewal, and these polyphenols, this EGCG, they can make your DNA produce more energy, which I love because you want your skin to revitalize itself. I love that. I love what this doctor did. It accelerates the differentiation process among new cells. So differentiation in biology is defined as a cell becomes specialized and it changes in order to perform a specific function. So differentiation in biology, it's defined as a cell that becomes specialized in order to perform a specific function. And this is skin renewal, which I really like. And just think about people with diabetes, even people, older people that have hard times with their skin. It bruises real easy and it tears real easy. Wow, get some green tea infused oil and slap it on me. Slap it on Granny. Rub Granny. Or anyone, if they want you to. Okay, now it also, green tea contains tannins. They are biomolecules that bind with amino acids in the body. Now, tannins are natural compounds, and they influence the rate of skin healing. They influence the rate of skin healing due to antibacterial and antioxidant properties. Now, tannins and tannic acid are not chemically the same substance. Tannic acid is used to help fade spots, tattoos, whatever. I mean, it can fade them. So tannic acid, stay away from. But it is not in green tea or black tea. This is a natural substance. A lot of tannic acid is synthesized in labs. So they're not the same substance. In fact, the tannins represent a large family of phenolic compounds, including tannic acid, but there is no tannic acid in green tea or black tea because it is a natural compound found in nature. Okay, so I thought the green tea was the bomb. I thought it was awesome. I just put it in there because I thought, ooh, green tea, I love green tea. Let's try this. I told you I have been going crazy in my head, and I dance just, especially since we moved the stereo in here. Usually I drive around and I'm just singing and whatever, trying to get stuff out, but now I can just dance now that we got the big vinyl thing in here, which I really like. But I only like it's like Johnny Cash, the only like album I listen to. So got this other thing, SoundCloud, and if Little Drewby, I just love him. Our families are very close, so I'm very proud of him. And Craig Collin went to school with my boys, and he is an outstanding gentleman. Both of these men are outstanding gentlemen, and I love to see what they're doing. It's exciting. But anyway, and I put all their credits on my YouTube. Crazy dancing things. Even my big sister called and she's like, you have that on your business thing. And I'm like, well, I think everybody that I do business with knows that. Just me. Also, green tea adds a barrier and protects your skin from the sun, which is really good because those UV rays, you don't want to get sunburned when you have a tattoo, a new tattoo. Okay, so now the hemp seed extract oil. Okay, we know that it has like the perfect ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, the perfect ratio, which protects, soothes, and heals the skin. It is natural and restorative and is very effective in healing wounds. It's rich in vitamins A and E. And all the oils that I used are rich in vitamins A and E. And actually there's a vitamin like A, it actually like turns into retinol. That's like a beta carotene from carrot essential oil, which I'll go into. But vitamins A and E. So vitamin A is like your body makes retinol out of it. So it's good to have. So they do help hydrate the skin and the renewal, and they kind of prevent the itch. Nobody likes the itch. Nobody wants to itch their tattoo. Okay. There is a ton more stuff that I can go over with the hemp seed extract oil. We went over it major. I mean major when I was talking about the two different types between full spectrum hemp and then the hemp seed extract. So, and I even showed you my really green Julie's lotion potion. So, anyway, okay, making sure. Okay, we went over that. Oh, and did you know I did not use coconut oil, even though it's not a nut. However, I am highly allergic to eating coconut, but I am able to use coconut oil. But it may affect someone else. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do something that it's not something that you can just get. This is something that's going to, it's like the non-latex of non-latex stuff. I mean, it's just, I didn't even want to use that. It's like classified by the FDA as a nut. However, it is the fruit of a palm tree. It's a coconut. And so I remember one time when I homeschooled, there used to be this little store in Howe, Texas, where I graduated from. And we got a coconut. And we were going to do a science lesson on it. And so we had this coconut. And this is when it was sold to a new owner. The old owners always had wonderful produce. And these were new owners. I don't even know their names. I don't even care about it. The store's burned down. So who cares? But we got that coconut and we did our whole science lesson on it. And then I'm like, well, let's drink the coconut milk. We punched the holes in there, and those boys put their little straws in there, and immediately they spewed that crap out. It was black. I took the coconut back. My poor babies. Oh my gosh, my poor babies. And they loved science. No, that was not a good science lesson. That was a disgusting coconut. Anyway, okay, so we went over the green tea. I went over the hemp seed extract oil. Now we're going to do the apricot kernel seed oil. High in gamma. I always get this wrong. Linolenic acids. These are a type of fatty acids that offer a number of health benefits to the skin. So they strengthen the skin's barrier, and they promote healthy skin activity. They're also known to tone and firm the skin. And also, this apricot kernel seed oil helps with cellulite, which I didn't know. I thought, ooh, cellulite, that's really cool. That's why it helps tone and strengthen. It's also rich in vitamins A and E. You're going to see that over and over again. And I think this is so key for any kind of balm, salve, or butter, or anything like that. That is key to the oils that you're using. And I used mango butter, the butter. And so all of these really mesh with mango butter and work well. There's a synergy. So there's a huge synergy, and it kept going in my head last night. So, and it's also a great anti-inflammatory. So we want that skin renewal. We want that skin to be protected, and we want that healthy barrier. Okay, now the grapeseed extract oil, which I really like. You know, I use that all the time as a carrier oil. It's also naturally high in linolenic acid that helps with skin inflammation. Also, it's a barrier over the skin to help protect it and provide and promote healthy cell activity. It is so easily absorbed into the skin. In fact, all of these oils are. In fact, most of them, like I did a test. I was oily yesterday. Woo, I was oily. But I mean, that they just slip into a crevice and just absorb. Because once I started reading this, I'm like, really? Let me try. And it did. It's really lightweight, and it resembles the body's natural sebum produced by the skin. And we know jojoba oil does too, because the jojoba oil is actually a wax. If you didn't know that. But anyway. And that's why I didn't put it in here, because I already have beeswax. So let's not double wax. That would be, if you're a lady, let's not double wax. But the beeswax is really good in here. Now, it does stimulate cell regeneration. Stimulates cell regeneration. Now, let's go over the mango butter. Of course, it's loaded in vitamins A and E that both hydrate the skin and help with the skin renewal and healing. Again, I mean, you're gonna hear it over and over and over again. It's vital. It is vital. And if I was a tattoo artist, branding someone with my brand, I would be wanting to use this stuff before, during, and after. Tons of essential fatty acids. It soothes irritated and inflamed skin. In fact, I just used the mango body butter by itself. It restores moisture to promote cell regeneration, and it acts as an effective natural sunscreen. So this is another layer of UV protection. Okay, this is another oil that provides the UV protection, which is very important. Even when you're driving in the car, you're getting UV rays, especially in an older car. I am, because I have my sunroof thing open all the time. My head, I'm wearing sleeveless stuff or whatever. But windows down or whatever. Or you're working outside. You just layer. You're having layers and layers of UV protection naturally. That's keeping your skin moisturized, and that's what you want. You don't want your art, your ink, to just really dry out, scab over and itch. And if you itch it, it's just going to distort some of the artwork that artist performed and what your vision is. A lot of times, the tattoos, they tell a story. They can be random as heck. I was thinking of my boys. When my younger one graduated, him and my nephew turned their phones off, number one, and came in about 3 o'clock in the morning. And they had, they're cousins. And so looking back on it, it was kind of funny. But they had like this skull with a big Sherlock Holmes pipe and a top hat with a little cross. And each had it on, one side of the shoulder, and the other one had it on the other. And I was screaming, that is horrible. What the hell did you do to your body? And my nephew is a quiet guy. He is a quiet dude, and he was just like, he didn't say anything. And my bride guy was like, look, it has a cross on the top hat. I'm like, that doesn't do anything for me. However, he has a really cool sand shark on his chest. He has an awesome tiger, and now he has many, lots of ink. So I raised them to be that way. I raised them to be salmon. I raised them to be individual. I know when my older one was graduated, he got this tattoo, and I'm like, what? That doesn't really seem right. And then he was in a fraternity, he got another one, and then anyway, I just love my boys. And if you've seen like my Instagram or my Facebook or anything like that, I have their pictures and their tops off with some of their, you can see some of their ink. And so anyway, I'll never forget the top hat with the skull. However, my son did like add, I think, roses to it and some other things to tweak it down the road. So it did look a little bit better, but it's still, okay. I really like that sand shark, and that tiger is cool, but top hat, I don't know. But anyway, sorry about that rabbit trail. But we are talking about tattoos, and this is the real world. So they either tell a story, and one of the things, there is proper tattoo etiquette, and you've got to read on it. Be very careful what you say to people who have tattoos. You can be very rude. Hey, how long did that take? Does that have meaning? That's proper. There's some things like not to say, and we've all probably said them. It's just like, hey, foot in the mouth, sorry, didn't mean that. It's like when you kind of look pregnant and you're not. That's happened. I said that to someone one time, and she ended up being one of my closest friends. Thank God. And I love her dearly. In fact, I need to mail her soap. Okay. So we've gone over the mango butter, and I told you, okay, the chamomile oil. Ooh, the chamomile oil. It is infused with the grapeseed oil. So calm your skin. Calm your skin. Don't know really what that means. To me, it would mean more like an analgesic. Just kind of like, yeah, go ahead. Stick me with that big needle, not tattoo needles, I'm just saying, needle. It soothes the redness and irritation in a matter of seconds. I didn't realize it was that important. I was just thinking, okay. I was putting these oils and infusing these oils before I knew really how important they were. And of course, there's chamomile essential oil, but I didn't have a German chamomile. I thought, why not just use the chamomile and infuse it? It has an amazing and anti-inflammatory property. And the anti-inflammatory properties are due to the presence of a compound called azulene. I'm going to type it. It's azulene. It's an organic compound, and it's just, and this is what I was thinking of last night. C10H8. And you guys know that C is carbon and H is hydrogen, right? Hydrocarbons. Okay. So it's an organic compound, and that's really what gives the chamomile that anti-inflammatory property. It also has antibiotic properties, which prevent infections. And we don't want infections. I think that's why the artists do everything that they can to keep their art from getting infected. They're starting to use the clear, Saniderm, whatever, barrier stuff. Saniderm bandages and things like that, which is really cool because when I got mine, he's like, slapped it. There you go. It's like, I didn't know what to do with it. But I was ready to get out of there. Even though I had fun with my brother-in-law, though. It was like a memory we made together. Sober. So it does prevent wounds from getting infected. I'm so sorry this is going on so long, but you know what? It took me like 2 hours. I was 2 hours late. Okay. So we've gone over the chamomile. Did we go over the grapeseed? Where's my grapeseed? Oh, here it is. Okay. I knew I missed something. All right. So the grapeseed extract oil. No, we went over it because it has, it resembles the skin's natural sebum production. It simulates the skin. Okay. All right. So that is all of the oils in these three. This is the one with no scent. This one, which I can't see because I can't get my webcam thing to work, so I'm using this one. But these things are green, which I like because you know it's full of hemp. But this one has carrot seed, myrrh. I always have a hard time saying this one. Helichrysum, spearmint, and cedarwood in it. And we're going to go over why I picked those. And then this one, I have all of those plus rosemary. So, and I put a little, can you see that? So I would remember, this is the rosemary one. Okay. Helichrysum. I use this a lot and always say it right. I know the molecular compound of it, but anyway, this is highly revered for its unparalleled regenerative and protective benefits. We use this in a lot of my stuff, especially the skin stuff. Anything with skin has it, it's going to have it in there. Now, This oil is an antimicrobial, and antiseptic oil, which means it fights off harmful bacteria. So if you get an infection, you know it's going to fight it. It's going to have a layer there. It's going to be like, get away from me, bacteria, because it's antimicrobial. Helichrysum also has anti-inflammatory properties, which will help with any swelling and itching. Myrrh, another reason. Oh, a lot of these balms have frankincense in them, and the reason why I didn't use frankincense is because it can actually cause the tattoo to heal too fast, which I thought was really interesting. And I didn't want to. I just try to be so careful with the amount that I put in to where it's still it's effective, but I don't want to put too much in. I mean, if I put too much frankincense in there and made your pores tighten and it healed too fast, and then I just don't think that's good for your ink on your arm, body, wherever. So I didn't use it. Now, myrrh has an antiseptic property that helps aid in the fighting of bacteria. So it's an antimicrobial. It's also known to be used to stop bleeding, which can sometimes happen right after a tattoo is applied. So this would be like probably not as like if I cut the toenails of the dogs too short, I have this powder that I can just stick it in. And then it just stops the bleeding, which they hate me doing their nails anyway, because I've all cut them off. So I haven't done cowboys. Those things need to be done. We've already had them done once. But he's a big old heifer. I don't want to put him in my car. And my son doesn't want me to put him in his truck. But I have to get them all there sometime. But anyway, okay. And it supports the skin's natural ability to heal. Hence, you know, it stops the bleeding. It helps close those pores, and helps with the healing process. Now, the carrot seed essential oil, it's super rich in the beta carotene, and that's actually C40, H56, C40, H56. It's in my head too. Where is this coming from? Anyway, I know where it is now. Carrot seed essential oil, so I knew to put it in there. All of these things that have been in my head, I kind of like knew, okay, I have to put it in there. There's a reason why it's in my head. Now the beta carotene, that's the one really that has like the A1, which actually forms a retinol. And so that's important because retinol really stimulates the production of new skin cells. That's why we use it. That's why I have serums, and that's why I use it in my butters and things like that. So it balances the moisture of the skin. It is super, super rich in vitamins A and E. Of course, we know that because of the beta carotene. They, of course, help heal dry, chapped, and cracked skin. I like it because you know it helps with skin renewal. It's a very good essential oil in beauty products. Like I said, I don't really care for the smell. I don't really care for a lot of the smells of single oils, but once you start blending, and there's a synergistic effect to it, it's like woo, yay! In fact, God, I'm gonna say it wrong again. Helichrysum, whatever, is synergy. It's natural synergy with rosemary, so I'm going to get into that. Okay, but back to the carrot seed oil. It does repair skin damage, and it facilitates in the healing of infected wounds. So you know that it's an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. It's like all in one antibiotic type of thing. It's good. It's good to have. I'm going to go over rosemary last, even though I have it as number 4, just because I have it. I don't have it in number 2, and I do have them all. I don't know if you can see this. There you go. So you can see that without rosemary. So don't forget. Now spearmint. Well, why didn't I do peppermint or tea tree or anything like that? Because it's really stringent, it's kind of strong. So why not? Let's do something else. So I did spearmint. Why did I do spearmint? It relieves spasms. It has a relaxing and cooling effect on nerves and muscles. It helps wounds heal faster. It is an antiseptic, just like the Melaleuca, the tea tree oil, and some of the other ones. So I thought, ooh, spearmint, I like spearmint. So it is antiseptic for wounds and ulcers. Ooh, ulcers are icky. And it prevents them from becoming septic while it gives them the ability to heal faster. So septic really is a bad ulcer. It's like if you're diabetic and you end up getting a foot ulcer and it's not treated, you can get septic. You can lose your toe, your foot. It's a big deal. Something I'm very passionate about. I'm not diabetic, but our business used to be in diabetic shoes and inserts because we don't want people limbless. It's important. Everyone has a diabetic in their family. It's not okay. It's not okay for these doctors to let things go. Of course, there's neuropathy in the feet for some diabetics, and they can't feel when they step on a piece of glass or wound themselves. So sometimes the doctor doesn't know because they don't even know. So, sorry, doctors. Cedarwood. And I didn't do too much cedarwood in this. I like the way it smells. But cedarwood is an anti-inflammatory. It's an anti-spasmodic, so it keeps you from spazzing. It's an antifungal, sedative, and it keeps bugs away. So it's an insecticidal. So I like the fact that it's an antiseptic. So we're doubling up on antiseptics. Okay, which is important because that's like right before you get a shot, they're rubbing the alcohol pad on you. That's like an antiseptic, so they don't put that needle in there and it gets infected. It hydrates and improves skin elasticity. That's cedarwood. We also know it helps stimulate hair follicles. Like that's why it's in like my Stiffen Staggin' and Shaggin' hair balm pomade that I actually use. Can you tell? And I like it. I don't care whether it smells like that or not. Okay. And also, antimicrobial to fight infections, but antiseptic. We have antiseptic in the spearmint. So cedarwood, the spearmint. Now I'm going to go into rosemary. And this was in the third one. And now I'm working on, I'll go into that in just a minute. Okay. Now I added rosemary, and it was basically a scent that I wanted to add because the cedarwood and the spearmint kind of wanted to balance it out. I did not know that it has a synergistic effect with the helichrysum. I had no idea until I started researching this. But rosemary, actually, it's a regenerative oil, and it helps prevent infections. So we know it's like antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti. It also helps reduce swelling and encourages circulation. So you have to have circulation for healing. You have to have good circulation for cells to regenerate and to renew and to heal. Circulation is key. And I really liked that. It also boosts the immune system naturally to aid in the healing. which I liked because I'm thinking of like young people that probably don't have best diets, probably have some immune issues because they're doing all kinds of stuff, especially in college. So it's good that it has that. It'd be great for these tattoo artists to be able to give these young people in college or whatever. And here you go. That's why I like the little 1 ounce, because it's not like a huge investment for them, you know, to be able to give out, and then their branding is on there. It yeah, boosts the immune system, and then it has that synergistic effect. So what that means is the synergy. It just means that it's like with my mango love with the CBD and the mango, it has a synergistic effect. So it just makes those molecular compounds go poof, and they explode, and it just works like magic. I don't know. It's like scientific compound molecular things, and you can do the little hexagrams, and everything, and put it together. It's kind of cool. I actually drew it. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, that's for that's for the EGCG from the green tea polyphenol. But I also drew hexagons for this other one, for just to look at the synergy. I like that kind of stuff, don't you? It's like so awesome. It's like when you start drawing them, and then you can see how the synergy works. And I'm not dumbing this down either. I'm tired of dumbing stuff down. I get all confused when I do that. So I'm trying to give you these molecular compounds. These are compounds. These are not synthetic things. The old chart. I always look at my periodic table. It helps, because then okay, most everything that I do is coming from, let me see if I can do this, here and over here. So they're not metals, they're not any of that, but hydrocarbons, and you just have to see how many. So what I basically did here was I developed a balm that is nut-free. It has no oils and butters at all, and I really struggle not to use cocoa butter. However, I want the artist to be able to get into it easy because they're in gloves, and so I don't know if you can see that, but and I want it to be able to get on that skin and just be absorbed. So they can just, before, they can sanitize and everything, and then they can balm, and then they can continue to use it. And so they can get their glove in there, their finger, and they can just apply it. And it's not like, I haven't done a butter yet. I'm going to play later and see what a butter is like. But I do know this, and this is why I started with the balm, because it is June. I just came from South Texas, and I took my body butter down there, and it like melts. I had to keep it in the refrigerator at my mother-in-law's house, and I had to keep it in the garage refrigerator so nobody put it on their toast, because it's body butter and it looks whipped and yummy. It looks like a whipped cream cheese, basically. So I had to put it in the garage refrigerator. So it melts, and that's why I didn't do it. But I'm going to play with it because an artist would probably like to have a choice of what they want. That's why I think this is really cool. So there's no petroleum in it, and there's no food coloring. And I looked at several of the big sellers. One in particular, find it. It has DNC green C. It has DNC green. Just like, why are you coloring it? I don't understand. Why are you coloring it? I mean, they use lavender and rosemary and good oils and beeswax. So I don't understand why they put coloring in it. I just think that's cuckoo. I really do. They would have a much better product if they did not have coloring in it. Why put something artificial into something that's natural that adds nothing to the product? It adds absolutely nothing. What I have, it's aesthetic. It's pretty. It looks healthy. It looks like something that you want to put on your skin. And I really wish you could see that. And now on my iPhone, there you go. Because I'm gonna put the iPhone one on Facebook. Hopefully, if I don't look like an idiot, which I do anyway, but I don't care. Okay, this is my rosemary. You'll see that I have them all. Oh, let me do the 3-finger thing. I have them all separated and written on a plate to where when I add stuff, it's on there. Okay. Yeah, why put food coloring in something that doesn't need to be food coloring? I don't know. But it's a good price. Hey, I know people that use it, and they have beautiful art on their bodies. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. The whole beeswax thing is just so freaking interesting. Gave me a totally different perspective. I love the oils I put in this. I love it. The essential oils, you don't really even need, except I like the antiseptic, antimicrobial properties. And the oils, I like the vitamin A and E, the D, I like the CBD, full spectrum hemp. In fact, I would just do CBD, full spectrum hemp, and I do the hemp extract. But then I just wanted to be able to reach each layer. So it's good to have different oils that work together. And I really like the synergistic effect of all of these oils and then the infused oils that I did, which I was like, that's why I just had that in my head. So basically, this is my test balm 1. And then I have on here where I added. So it's just beeswax, chamomile infused grapeseed extract oil, green tea infused apricot kernel seed oil, and I did not put ginger in there. I didn't want any kind of irritants at all, and that's why I did one completely scent free. That is still the bomb. I mean, the bomb when it comes to your skin. I would much rather put this than Vaseline or A&D or whatever. I don't know what the boys, I don't know. Anyway, just because I'd be like, oh, this is all natural. I don't know. I don't know why I would like it, but I would. And I would feel like I was a queen walking out of there with something beautiful piece of art that I had in my head. And that's what started our conversation. Because I have this thing in my head. And I was like, you think you could do that without taking up my whole back? So we just had a great conversation. These people were awesome. They were grandparents, and you didn't even know it. They were so damn cool. Anyway, they're young grandparents. Beautiful grandbaby they had, and she had beautiful artwork. He had beautiful artwork, and they were nice. I don't know of anyone. I've never met anyone that isn't nice. That is a tattoo artist or has a story on their body. I remember one time, we went way down south. Every August, I used to take the boys to see my mother-in-law, their grandma, even if their dad had to work. And one time we went way down close to Brownsville to get to that clear Gulf water. And there was a man, we ended up going to Schlitterbahn, which is the best Schlitterbahn in Texas, because you never get off of a tube. Literally, they have conveyor belts, and you never get your butt up. I mean, you can float in the river on that tube, and then you can just get on a conveyor belt and then get on the little ride. It is the best Schlitterbahn ever. And then there is a swim up bar, and which the boys thought was really cool. I got them virgin daiquiris, and they're like, "Ooh, man!" They thought they were big stuff. I almost said something else. And then there's a bridge, and you can go swim in the Gulf, which is really pretty down there. But anyway, that's Schlitterbahn rocks. I have no idea where I even got there. Where did I go with that? I don't know. So, okay, I like it that it's scent free, the first one. I like the chamomile. I do. I'm going to play with the essential oil too and see the difference, but I smelled them both and I was like, ooh, 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 that's so close. That's like awesome. Even with the grapeseed, because grapeseed really doesn't have a smell to it anyway. But I thought, ooh, that's so cool. So I did the chamomile infused grapeseed extract. I did the green tea infused apricot kernel seed oil. I did the mango butter. And I should have them in the list of where, like, number 1 is mango butter, beeswax, and then the oils. And I just kept doing the dropper. I'm like, man, I'd want this all over my skin. In fact, we had one boy in our pool one year, a lot of times, and he had this awesome tattoo. He went to the Marines, and he's home now, and I hope he knows who I'm talking about. His initials are CN. Best looking young man ever. And he had this beautiful tattoo on his side. He had to go back, and it hurt. He's a Marine. And I think he had the best life ever because he was always like putting these awesome pictures on Instagram of all these exotic places. And then after, I mean, he's like jumping out of airplanes and parachuting and all that kind of stuff. It was fun. He's a fun guy. And I do have it right here. 13.33 milliliters in each 10. You can see that. I did break it down. I knew I had it somewhere over here. And so I did the droppers of that. And then, of course, I went into the essential oils. And then I went into why I didn't use lavender and frankincense. Probably being overly cautious. I don't know. And then I thought, ew, let's use all nut-free. And I wanted to stay away from olive oil because olive oil is a cheap oil. And I didn't want this to be a cheap product. Even though really good olive oil is expensive, because you guys know I love Castile. So, and that's only, I get so pissed off when people say it's Castile, like it's Castile and it has more than 3 ingredients in it. It's not Castile. Call it Bastille. It's olive oil, sodium hydroxide, and water. Distilled water. That is Castile. Pure Castile. So olive oil, I just didn't want to use olive oil because it's so abundant. I wanted to use something a little bit more exotic. That's why I wanted to infuse things. So it's just because this couple was they were so damn cool. They were just cool. And I wanted something that would be more like them. And that's probably why my thinking was going like that. And I don't know. I'm going to have to get on my little Facebook things, let them watch this, and they're probably going to be like, holy cow, she does not shut up. But and then get with them and see what I can do, because I really think this is going to be a great thing for these artists to have, and then they can just brand it themselves, but have someone else make it. There's also vitamin E. I added that too, even though there's like vitamin E in all the oils. I added a little bit. So I forgot to go over that, but we know that that's very moisturizing and healing to the skin. Now, if you guys have any questions or comments on anything that I've said, let me know. Sorry for being so late. If you really knew what was going on in here, I think you would show me a little bit of love. I really like all of the antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antiseptic properties of what I put in these here. And for the person that has the high sensitivities and is worried about the essential oils, that's why I wanted to have something scent-free. And so we have that. Now, let me go over one more thing. Now I know why I was talking about Schlitterbahn in Brownsville. There was this man who had like his whole body was covered in tattoos. And we were in line behind him. And I've always taught the boys, tried to anyway, acceptance, love, kindness. Short period of time we were in this church, and it was a little bit different, but it was a short period of time. However, I don't regret ever going there. But this man had the story of Christ all over his body, from the Old Testament prophecies all the way up to the Last Supper. Well, it was like baptism, the Last Supper, and it had the making of wine and Lazarus, raising Lazarus from the dead. It had showed him being betrayed, and then it showed him being crucified. But the highlight is when he turned around. We could see this. I mean, it was like legs up, arms, front, back, everything. But not his face or anything like that, even though I did see a lady with like frogs all up and down her right side. And that was very appropriate. I didn't say anything, but I was wondering, I wonder what she was thinking. She must really like frogs, because my mother liked frogs. And collected them. So I bet she has a frog collection. But he turned around, and then you can see the resurrection. And it was, that man had this brilliance in his face and this light in his eye. And it was like he was the most beautiful man I have ever seen. He was an Hispanic man, and he had the most beautiful story on his body. And it was amazing. And I hope that both the boys remember that man. Because, of course, I'm Bears fan. So I'm talking to him, and I'm like, I love your story. That's appropriate. That's an appropriate thing to say. Something inappropriate to say is, why did you decide to do that? Like when my son came home, I'm like, that is awful. That's not appropriate. Unless it's your kid, that you've raised, and you're like, turned his phone off. I knew exactly what he was doing. But at least he was with his cousin, and my sweet nephew doesn't really say a lot. Anyway, that's where that was coming from. But my Stag Your Shag line, remember I told you I was going to find some bottles? Look at that bottle. That is cute. This isn't as big as the big Tabasco bottle. Not big, but that has the Stag Your Shaggy Body bath salt. This is awesome. And then you can see the richness of the emu oil in it. And I like the way the label works better. I didn't like those little scallop. Well, these. I like them, but at the same time, I didn't like having to put two with the ingredients, one on the back, because I had to cut it. And it's like, guys don't like this. In fact, the new owners of the CBD American Shaman in Plano, her husband was like, "Oh, I'd buy this stuff if it had like a big skull on it." It was, black and red. So I changed my logo with the help of the woman that owns the see the little stag, because she did that thing for me, and I thought, "Ooh, I like that," because she did that thing for me on Instagram. So thank you. But I like it now. For now, and eventually they will have vinyl labels. I've got to get through all of these labels. But these, I told you what I did. I print them, and then I use spray paint, acrylic sheer spray paint, and it keeps that oil from rubbing all that stuff off, and kind of makes them look a little bit darker. Anyway, I like the effect of it. But I told you, once I find these new bottles, they're just so cute. Men, this bottle or this bottle? I don't know. I like this one because this is kind of cool. Because I told you when I was at Specs, I saw those bottles at the checkout. Not exactly the same. However, I like this bottle. And it holds more. You're getting more for your money. And then I also have, this is almost completely perfected. The Stiffy's Staggin' and Shaggin' Hair Pomade. I've been using it. It's almost perfected. I haven't had any bad feedback. And it is all over toothpaste. All of this is, except for this. I should have scrubbed. This is kind of like the spray paint gone. A little wacky. I parked my car way too close to the door. How in the heck did I do that? I don't know, but I'm glad it was just me. Oh, yeah. Bubby was like trying to get in, and he was having to like just kind of scoot on the car hood. I have no idea. But so we started this on April 13th of 2019. Remember, I told you I'm going to be keeping it and stirring it, and I used it the other day. Ooh, I love it. I love it. But it's still holding up, and I want to show you. Can you see that? I know not to drop this on my keyboard. I don't want to go out and buy into the computer. I would rather put my money in ingredients. But it is yummy. It is that raw sugar that is unrefined and organic. And then it has all those yummy oils in it. And it's a really good exfoliator. I like it. Of course, you know how the smell of it. It just like rocks my world. I love it. I really do. In fact, the Stiffy's hair pomade that I'm using, actually, it does. Because as you can tell, I haven't been like straightening it and curling it lately because I need to go get it cut, but I'm not getting it cut for a specific reason until something happens. But so I've been wearing like this. I have been trimming my bangs though, because you don't want them. But I have that going. It's still holding up. So we're 2 months in, almost 2 months in, and I just wanted to show you. Okay, so See, it's just able to get that out. And I barely put any pressure. Here it is. Here it is. And then I'm going to apply it, and it just goes on. And one of the things that, I love the way it feels. But one of the things that I did that I'm learning all about with my butters and beeswax, slowly melt it, and don't melt them in what I've been melting them in. So I've been using just glass. I'm rubbing it all over. I mean, it's easy to dig out. It's easy to apply, and it absorbs quickly. And it smells good. It smells good. It's probably not as girly as it could. I'm still working on these oils and the scent profile, because I want to have choices. You know, the artist is going to have. They know their clientele. They know what their clientele is going to like and dislike. And so it's basically working with the artist to see what they like and to see if it works. But I just wanted to make sure I tested it with 3 different types of gloves. My thick orange ones, some blue ones, and then some like the clear white ones, to make sure you could scoop it out easily and apply it to the skin. And you can. But I'm going to play a little bit, probably do a butter, because I need to make some anyway, with these oils. That's why I saved them, because I want to play some more, and the sun isn't really shining today here in Texas. But there's other ways to do it. You can even slowly melt your butters in your car. I was just reading all about this because I don't want grain. I don't want a grainy feeling. That's why I started researching the shea butter. Putting it in with the other oils and letting it all melt together, it would get grainy. And then I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to do this with my mango butter either. And then I thought, ooh, okay, I'm going to melt this beeswax, take it right off, and then put all the oils in. So they still retain all of their properties. I'm not cooking them off. And it worked splendidly. Hence, that's why I really liked how I was able to infuse that green tea and that chamomile and those oils through the sun, but you can also use the heat in your car, instead of just using artificial heat, which is a little tip. I mean, one day I will do a website and put all this stuff on there, but for now, I guess you just have to wait and listen to me. And you know how long I've been on here. Oh my God, over an hour. I'm so sorry. Holy moly, what a day. I spent all day yesterday researching this, late into the night, and then got back up again and was getting everything prepared. And then it took me forever to finally I chunked this webcam. I threw it all the way across the kitchen. I was mad. It kept saying, another application is using your camera. Another application is using your camera. I'm just like, what application? It's not open. There's nothing else open. And I would get on the task manager and nothing was using it. So then I'm thinking, okay, I'll do Edge and then I'll do Internet Explorer. And it's not fit to work with this. You have to download Chrome. I'm like, no, I'm not downloading Chrome. So it's Task Manager again. It's clearing cookies. It's clearing this. It's clearing that. It's restarting this computer like 100 times. And getting more and more frustrated because when I put a time down, I want to stick with that time. And it was just like I was ready. My computer, it's like, how do these people do it? One day, I will have help. Because somebody won't be having the same really weird hours that he has right now. And so maybe we can work together on this because I'm just like, I'm so over this. really over this because this should be like a 10-minute thing. And I even put together, I texted my husband. And I said, I'm even putting an outline together. So I'll be on top of it and I'll stay where I need to be. And that didn't happen. Maybe I should dig before I do this. Because I know I'm not going to take it. Well, was asked, did you take a shot of your stagger? Like, no, didn't. But I didn't do that. I didn't even feel like it. I was just like, I was thinking something else. And I don't even know why I was thinking that. Oh, and I didn't add avocado oil just because it's, why? It has the same thing. It has a natural sunblock and it reduces inflammation. But I might try it with the body butter. I don't know. And I might try doing, I'm not going to do anything water-based. But I killed my aloe vera plant. But if I can go to the store, the natural store, I'm trying to think of the name of that, like Whole Foods or the other one off the toll there, see if they have aloe vera gel or something, and try that too, because that's really soothing. Oh my gosh, can you imagine having aloe vera gel? But it has to be organic and it has to be really good quality. So, because I don't want to use preservatives, especially with the scent-free one, because we know that, and I say this all the time, most of these essential oils are preservatives in themselves. You just have to get the right quantities. You have to get the right amount. So I'm going to end with that. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't stop following me, even when I dance, when I go a little cuckoo. Because that's just who I am. What you see is what you get, which is not always the best thing. But sometimes it is, because you don't have to guess what I'm thinking. I'm just going over here making sure I've gone over everything. I need to figure, I need my sister. You know what? I got her a megaphone. She's going to be like the loudest second grade teacher next year. If she doesn't give it to her, I want to say almost daughter-in-law, but I don't want to jinx anything. Yeah. Beautiful young lady who is going to be a teacher around here. If she doesn't give it away, but I do that Amazon giveaways when I get out of my head for a little bit, and I the thing that you click on and you're like, I should not have clicked on this. What would I do with a megaphone? I'm loud enough. And I thought, my sister, the teacher, oh my gosh, with those second graders, she would be phenomenal with the megaphone. And I was telling, she's like, oh, I want it. Then I don't have to go out to the thing and get theirs when I need it. I can have my own. So I can't wait to give that to her. Too bad she doesn't live closer. Maybe she will one day. But her kids go down and see her all the time, so I have to have them stop by, and then I'll have to bribe them with something yummy for their body and stuff to take down to her. So I love my niece and my nephews. My nieces and my nephews. But they're pretty good people. They're pretty good people. She raised some good human beings. Both of my sisters are the most phenomenal mothers ever. And they're just like, they amaze me. Of course, my older sister was like my mother. But phenomenal mothers. Great children. So sometimes I just feel I'm really highly favored and blessed to have the family that I have. Other times I'm like, I avoid them like the plague because I don't know what's going to come out of here because I know the way my mind's working, and I do not like conflict. I don't handle conflict very well. Not at all. Not even at my age. I've gotten better because I avoid it. Avoidance is key for me. So sometimes you won't hear from me for a while, or sometimes you'll hear from me right away, and then I have to apologize because it's just miscommunication. It's sisters. There's three of us, and so and then our mom in Beverly is almost like a sister. Really, she is like a sister, but she's married to our dad because our mom passed away. But she's like a sister. She's fun. And she likes all the stuff that we like. She likes all the stuff our mother liked. She's just really, really cool lady. And I'm glad my dad found her. But I'm going to end with that. So let me know if you have any suggestions with an oil. Or, hey, why aren't you using lavender oil? All these other ones are using it to do anything with my tattoo. Let me know. I'd really like to know. Or if you made your own and your colors stay vibrant. I want to just show you something. This is, oh my goodness. This is the soap. See it? I love it. I washed my hair with it yesterday. I washed my body with it yesterday. And it was my first beer soap. It doesn't smell like Guinness beer, but it has the good properties of it. And it's a really, really hard bar, which I like. So anyways, like, oh my goodness. Now I'm going to have to think of something for Cowboy and for Queenie, the kitty, and for Raj, and then for Honey Butter, which is going to be easy because we call her Honey Butter. Really? I can think of some kind of soap for that. But everyone, have a good day. Thank you for supporting Salt Mixology. Thank you for basically supporting me because I am Salt Mixology. I know sometimes I can't pronounce everything the way I want to pronounce it right when I want to pronounce it, but I hope I was able to show you kind of how my mind works. It's different. But I want to make people happy, and I want to make things easier and more natural. I really think that's important because there's so many things that have carcinogens in them. And I really think we need to watch that. Gosh, even our cell phones, things like that. Woo, I didn't even think about that. I'm not even going to go there. Literally, there was this man at Third Monday, our first one ever. And I was like, he needs to shut up. I'm so sick of listening to that man. And he sold out and left before everyone else. And it was all about stuff like that. Anyway, my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, yeah, he was obnoxious, but he sold his stuff. So he was someone we probably would have hired when we had our company. But everyone have a great day. It's a terrific Tuesday, and you spent way too much time with me today. But maybe next time I can start off with the dance because that gets your attention pretty quick. That was something I learned in Speech 101 when that teacher came in there with the boombox on her shoulder. And like, this is like way over the boombox days because I didn't get my degree till later in life. But she comes in there with that boombox and she's like, all right, got your attention. She danced in front of all of us young people. And this was at a college here, a junior college that actually like has all of these superstar baseball players that are already signed with major teams. This is like Grayson College in Denison, Texas. And there's all these baseball players in this speech class. Okay. First speech was a demonstration speech. You know what they did? They demonstrated taping their bats. But let me tell you, I watched that whole 5 minutes. Because, as you know, my husband used to play semi-pro baseball. And a baseball uniform got me. Well, and the two-step and our first dance. And anyway. So I listened to their little stupid speeches with glee. And they probably fell asleep during mine, but I kept it under the time every single time. And that's what I need to work on. That's why I tried to do this outline. I'm so sorry, and I keep talking because I feel like we're keeping you on for so long. Sorry. And it's like, what time is it? Oh, okay. I have something at 5:15. My calendar thing popped up. Have a terrific Tuesday. And remember, Salt Mixology wants to help people, wants to help skin, wants to make you feel good about yourself. It's okay to walk around and feel good about yourself. It doesn't mean you're egotistical, doesn't mean you're vain, doesn't mean anything. It means, hey, I'm healthy. I'm infusing healthy stuff. I'm putting healthy stuff on my skin. I'm using all natural products. I'm drinking collagen. And it is not pleasing. It's still not pleasing. I'm gonna have to, because I don't do my NutriBullet every day anymore. Because I just wake up and just start going, and thank God for Nutri-Grain bars. But I even like put it in first, and then put my hot green tea in there, and it all dissolved, but it is not pleasing. So then I put some pom-pom in it, and it's okay now. But I've been working on this since like 8 o'clock this morning. What time is it? It's 3:16. Yeah. So I added the palm, and I'm not even halfway down yet. So I'm really trying to get this hydrogenized, molecularly refined collagen down every day. Once I figure it out, I'll let you know. But if it ain't in a smoothie, you can't just put it on a smoothie and swallow it. And you can't just stir it in something cold either. And you can't just stir it in something hot. Because I don't drink my calories. I eat my calories. So there's calories in the palm, but I don't think soda or anything like that. But anyway, TMI. I'm going to just click end. I don't even think there's a Fiverr person out there that can edit this thing properly. Because my DIY video gone bad. I just wanted to leave it. But people need to see how you have stuff go wrong and then you can make it right. I guess that's what my son said the other day. He was like, just record yourself dancing. Just put yourself out there. He was talking about this guy that made himself famous because he walked around with a selfie stick all the time. I can't remember his name, but he's like, that's what it's all about. Your personality, you're this and you're that. I'm like, I don't think people want to see or hear my personality all the time. I'm not going to selfie stick it. I gave all my selfie sticks away to my nieces for Christmas, which would probably be more helpful. Or I need to get a GoPro when I'm making stuff, when I do a DIY, because I want everybody to be able to try this stuff. If I was going to go get a tattoo, and I didn't know, of course, I would meet with the artist first to make sure that they could do what my vision is. Because mine's very specific. And meet them, talk to them, see their product, basically. And then, okay, if they didn't do that, if they just did the awesome bandages, they're really cool. This young man that I saw that had it, I just kept touching it. I was like, oh gosh, I should never do that. That is a no-no on me, tattoo etiquette. I'm glad that he is a nice young man. Because I kept touching it. It's like, oh, wow. I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. So these artists are, it's not like the blue jean guy, that guy with the coveralls, overall things, big man. And my tattoo was guaranteed for a lifetime. Well, when I came back to this area 13 years later, that guy was gone. I'm sure he probably retired. And not what I was thinking. But it didn't matter anyway, because I'd already had it been to the plastic surgeon and had it partially removed with hurt so bad. I couldn't go back. I felt like such a sissy. My kids were just like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And I always tried to be the cool mom. I remember going off that ramp with that bike. I still have a scar on my knee because I got on that ramp, that bike. I was going to jump it just like they did, and I was going to skirt, and I was going to do it, and I stopped and fell and have a scar, and they still laugh about that. But anyway, I found it at the time. I guess this is what happens when I spend the whole week thinking about chemical formulations and compounds and get something together and dream about it, think about it, eat and think about it, dance and think about it, and everything else. I'm excited about it. I'm pumped. I am pumped about this product. But I would meet with artists and I would see what they did for Aftercare, and then I would make my own. So I'll put my little ingredients here, and you can, these are just little 1 ounce things, but you could use like a little jar, a little glass jar. And just make sure that everything is organic and cold pressed, and find the best beeswax possible. Do not use parabens, do not use paraffin, do not use petroleum. I mean, don't use any of that. Just use the best products you can find. And if you can't source them through Whole Foods or any of the other natural stores, Amazon. Amazon has great products, and the Better Shea Company. Really, I'm just amazed by them. Better Shea Butter Company. That's where I get all my coconut butter. It's where I'm going to be getting everything. I get my noodle butter there. And now, hopefully, I just signed up to get it wholesale, so I can get it like 50-pound chunk, I hope, of it, because I literally love it. I would make my own conditioner out of it. I mean, I love this stuff. And the coconut butter. So anyway, that's just stop. Okay. Oh, and plant therapy for your essential oils. Do it. When I started doing plant therapy, I did on Amazon. But if you do it directly through their website, you earn points. Like I just got this huge bottle of a really good quality, pricey essential oil, and I waited and I saved my points because you can get like $20 off, $40 off, depends on how many points you have. And you earn points easy by just leaving a review and your thoughts. Just by leaving your reviews, they're really good to their customers. So I was able to get this oil that I've really been wanting. So go to planttherapy.com if you're not already using a product that you like. Even at the natural, like Whole Food stores, just make sure it's just one ingredient. I even hate saying that, but it's just because I know how good plant therapy is. But there's also other good ones out there. So if you want to get started, go get your little 10 milliliters now, or whatever they are. Gosh, what is it at Whole Foods? I can't remember. That's what I started doing. Actually, my girlfriend has it's in the #1 company, I think it is. It's not doTERRA, it's the other one. Anyway, she does those. She kind of got me into it. My husband was in the hospital. We had a diffuser in there, and we had oils going, and she was teaching us about putting it on the bottom of your feet. And of course, he only had 1 foot because his other foot was like a puffer fish. So that size 12 foot was smashed down to an 8. It's like a puffer fish. But where to apply them, and she taught me a ton, and she really, really got me interested in all of this, actually. And she works like 3 jobs, and then she still does this, and then she still does farmers markets, and then she still does, I don't know how this woman has the energy that she has. She changes her sheets like every other day. And you know what? I went to go see her daughter at her apartment, who I dearly love, who I would love for her to be my daughter-in-law. She does the same thing. I love it. She washes her sheets just as much as her mama. And it's so great watching these kids grow up because I've known her since she was 11 or 12. Anyway, the things that drive you crazy are the things you do when you become older. But anyway, I like it that she does the same thing that her mom does, because they're so much alike and I love them so much. They're so much a part of my life, just like little Drewby and his mom. I mean, oh my gosh, that family. We've all been through so much together. Those two families right there. Um, anyway, highly favored. Talk to y'all later. Bye.